Hello, and welcome back to yet another look at Erangel 2.0. After this new update with the new era, there's a lot of aesthetic changes to the map, as well as the scopes, to various in-game UIs and whatnot. Not too much gameplay difference besides, of course, the addition of the towers on Erangel, where you're completing mini missions and kind of boosts the action a little bit. Today I decided to land at school, see what updates they put over here, see how it looked. Landed pretty nicely, grabbed myself a shotgun, cleaned up here for a while. Enjoy some of these kills. They were kind of stressful. I'm not a huge fan of hot drops as of late, but recently I started up again, especially with this new update. Just absolutely going for it. And yeah, school looks gorgeous. It's pretty much the exact same layout with the exception of like a statue out front and a little bit bigger shed. Um, but yeah, other than that, it's pretty much all the same. Of course, since the update, besides for just the aesthetic changes, I have noticed that the matches seem to be going a lot faster. There's a lot less people left towards the final zones. Definitely more bots in match, and of course some of that has to do with India banning PUBG and us losing that huge player base. However, it doesn't account for everything. Like, there's no reason that there's like 10 peoples, 13 peoples with zone covering half a map. I don't know, there's a lot of stuff that there used to be in PUBG that just seems to be lacking at this point. Maybe their player base is shrinking, maybe it is just India, maybe it was all the hackers that we had to deal with, but yeah, it's definitely very different on the gameplay. You can push for a lot higher kill matches, you can play a lot more aggressive than you used to be able to, and there's not really that challenge there where you're scared that someone's going to come out of the blue and just third party you so much. At least that's what I've noticed. Fights go a lot faster. If you have any, I don't know, comments, thoughts, ideas on why these matches are started changing a lot, I'd be very grateful to read them down in the comments section down below. But that's just my notice as of now. One of my favorite updates, I would say, besides for, of course, just the aesthetics of the map itself, is the scopes. They've completely reworked, I think, almost all the scopes, if I'm correct with that. They add more of a film layer for the glass, for the plastic, or whatever it would be in the scopes, which gives it an actual more bubble-like texture when you're scoping in. Like, inside the scope is scoped, outside the scope isn't as scoped. And I really appreciate it. Find it a little bit easier to aim with, a little bit easier to look through. 2x scope, they made the lines thinner, which makes it a lot easier to shoot. The red dot, the hollow look fantastic. The new reticles look amazing. I personally use the carrot reticle with upside down V. I find it to be pretty nice and accurate. But I personally prefer 2x's, 4x's. I don't really use 6x's much, 8x's much. I'll use a 3 here and there. But yeah, 2s and 4s is where it's at. So today I was checking out the the M4, until I eventually switch up to a K9. Huge fan of the It doesn't really pump as much damage as the 9mm do, but it gets the job done for SMGs. Of course, the M4 balanced all around. You can use for short range, long range, medium range, whatever you want to be using it for. The only thing you'll lose to is headshots, SMGs, and of course shotguns. But besides for that, I mean, you're pretty much gonna wipe the map. At this point, I have to rotate to zone. I have to leave school. I don't have vehicles, so it's a long rotation, and there's not so many people left. I mean, you can see there's like 17 people left, now 16 people left. The zone is huge, and this rotation takes a very long time. There's no reason for this. There either should be more vehicles. There should be more going on, I felt. Like, I felt it was very empty. That, look at me, I have no weapon out. I could just sprint the entirety of the map without an issue. I didn't really stop. I mean, I scoped in here and there. I stopped for loot. I didn't, like, stop to engage anybody until we're talking second to final zone. And it's just like, what happened? Where's all the crazy mid-game fights? Like, I have an early game, fight school, no problem. and then the match is just gone for. Like, it just, there's no mid game anymore, and it's kind of sad. Mid game brought you a lot more loot, a lot more like technical details you needed for loot, like this grips or these scopes or this extra ammo, and it's a weird thing to miss out on. So finally, after all of that walking, I finally get up to where I need to get to, which is final zone. I'm hearing shots in front of me, but there's only 5 people left, which is just like, what? I ran from school to, where are we, near Pachinki, I believe, and saw no one. It was a very empty mid match. It's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. Push up, hear snipers, get the grenade on the sniper, hit the airdrop. Should have grabbed the AUG, made a couple mistakes here in end game. Figured that M4 would do me better on range. Turns out I needed the close because I took the K9 instead of drop my ump. As you're going to see when I start pushing up. Final zone, no cover. All bushes, trees, I have to hold in there. It was kind of rough, kind of scary, but luckily it seemed like all the battle was on the other side by the hill, by the house up there, so I was perfectly alright. I have to get used to some of the new aesthetics, of course. Bushes kind of look like people here and there. And of course you can completely hide in these. Like, I'm not actually in cover. If someone saw me, they could just spray me down and I would die. But no one seems to be able to see me. Think about rotating up on the hill. Chose against it. Again, there's no cover. I'm in a wide open field. They said they added all these things, but there's so many open fields, especially on this zone. Like, it's the house versus fields everywhere. There's a lot of shots that go down at this point. It seemed like it's a 1v1 now, and time to push up. The only mistake I made here is, of course, this push. I could have played it a lot better. It ended up costing me an easy win. But yeah, the matches just seem slow. I really regret saying this, but like, I miss all of that action. I miss that hype. I miss that mid game. Let me know if you guys have been experiencing this as well. This is a high diamond tiered game, I believe. And yeah, the matches are just lacking in luster. Here's some more highlights from playing on the new Erangel, and I think some other maps as well. I hope you enjoy them. Check them out. Let me know what you think. If you want to see more PUBG Mobile, let me know. I do have a quick chicken coming out next week that make sure to stay tuned for. Check your notifications. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see it. Now I'm going to let you enjoy some epic highlights. We need to clear this guy out first, and then we can go push them. Right there, right there.